I worked on 2 of Netflix's biggest shows and I did not go to film school. No, I'm not a Nepo baby. I'm not anyone special. All I did was put in the work to teach myself, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. When I started writing, I found it really hard to find information that was accessible, affordable, and accurate, especially from people that look like me. So I'm giving you the info I wish that I had. In this video, I'm going to show you the 6 steps that I took to teach myself writing so you can do the same. The first thing you need to do is learn how to format a script. Now, a script is not a book. It looks very specific. There's a very specific way you need to write it. You need to learn how to do that and write a script accordingly. I actually told someone about script format and their response to me was literally, "Oh, I don't like how scripts are formatted." And I just looked at them like, what are you talking about? That's like saying, I think C should come before B in the alphabet. Like, yeah, bro, you can think that, but it's already been established. Let's just learn. So the first element of a script is the scene heading. You're going to have it be interior, meaning inside, exterior, meaning outside. Then you're going to show the location where you are, an apartment, for example, and then whether it's day or night. Scene heading is very important. It lets people know the physical location of your scene. A mistake I also see beginners make, one that I made when I first started writing scripts, is not understanding what indicates a new location. So even if you're in that same apartment, if you go from the bathroom to the hallway to the kitchen, those are all new scene headings. Think of it as if I have to physically pick up my camera and put it in a new place to capture everything that's going on, that's a new scene. Next, we have our action lines. So an action line is kind of self-explanatory in the name. It's describing the actions that your characters are taking. So everything that they're doing that's not talking. Again, a script is not a book, so screenplays tend to be very brief. You're not going to spend 5 pages of action lines describing the beautiful sunset or, how your character's outfit looks. That's not a script. You're going to be brief but detailed in your action lines to paint a picture for what's going on. Then we're going to get into the dialogue. So the dialogue is what actual characters are saying, how they're speaking. Before their line, you're going to see that character's name in all caps, and the line, the dialogue, goes underneath it. And you also have a parenthetical, which goes above the dialogue, and that just sort of describes how the performance should be done. It's an indicator to the actor to let them know, hey, this line should be said that way. A lot of new writers tend to overuse parentheticals where every single line of dialogue they're saying how it's supposed to be said. There's no need to do that. If your writing is good, then your actor should be able to pick up in context how the line should be delivered. I only use parentheticals really if it's not obvious within the context of the scene how the line is delivered. For example, if someone is being sarcastic. Then you have transition shots, which are, maybe a jump cut to this or a fade out to this. The Hollywood Standard is a great book you can read that gets into the details of formatting a script, but honestly, you can just Google that as well. You also should be using a screenwriting software that will format your script automatically for you, so it's not something you need to be consciously thinking. I always recommend new writers use Writer Duet. It's what I used when I first started out because it's free. The first 3 scripts you use for Writer Duet are free. I also got some codes from the people at Writer Duet to give a free annual license out to people. So beyond those first 3 scripts. And I will show you how you can get one of those free codes at the end of this video, so stay tuned, keep watching. Second thing you need to do is read scripts, like a bunch of scripts, like hundreds of scripts I read. You're going to be reading professional scripts, amateur scripts, scripts that you think are great, scripts that you might think are awful, but taking in all this information is going to help you do a few things. Firstly, it's going to make sure you're hammering in that script format, because if you've never read a script before, it can be jarring. Again, a script is not a book. They're written very different. So reading a bunch of scripts will familiarize yourself with how scripts are written, but it's also going to make you understand your taste. So it's not enough just to read the script. You're really going to break it down and understand if you don't like something, why don't you like it? Explain why. Maybe the characters aren't developed enough. Maybe the plot seems like it's fake. Maybe the dialogue seems inauthentic. Reading scripts and really analyzing them as a writer, not just a viewer, will help you evolve. The third thing you need to do is write often. Now, I'm not here to tell you to write every day, because I don't write every day and I'm a professional writer, but you do need to be writing at least, a few times a week to really develop that muscle and improve. The amount of people that come up to me and say, hey, I wrote this one script, how do I sell it to Netflix? Is astronomical, and I just look at them like, no, why would you think that would happen? Just like you wouldn't play basketball one time and think you're going to get drafted to the NBA, you're not going to write one script and then suddenly be given, millions of dollars to produce that script. Your skills are probably not up to par yet, and that's okay. That's why you need to write often. It's a practice. It's something that you really need to be willing to invest time and energy in to develop and get better. The fourth thing that really leveled up my writing was starting a writer's group. So a writer's group is a group of people that meet at a particular cadence. We are exchanging scripts, giving each other feedback. Now, doing this allowed me to do a couple of things. It provided me accountability. It's really easy to not write very often if it's not your job and you don't have to. So meeting with a writer's group every week forced me to produce new pages and to be constantly working on my craft. It also allowed me to read more scripts, which I said in the second step, you need to be reading scripts. So joining a writer's group gave me access to read other people's scripts, and it gave me feedback, which is essential. Writing, TV and film writing specifically, is highly collaborative. It is not like writing a novel where you're very singular, you're just doing it by yourself alone. If you work on a TV show, if you work on a film, you have a bunch of different departments that are going to be adding to your script, putting in their say. So you have to be used to getting feedback and working with others. Being in a writer's group really prepared me for that aspect of being a professional writer. It's also a way for you to meet other people that are writers, to network. I always say to become a professional writer, you need two things. You need a network and your craft. I think a lot of people look at networking the wrong way, where they think I need to attach myself to someone that is perhaps further along in their career than me, and that's networking. No, that's not networking. Networking is meeting people where you are, and that way the relationship is balanced. It's not transactional. It's not someone trying to take something from you, or you trying to take something from them. It's equal. My first writers group, I literally was in a Facebook group for writers. I posted, hey, I want to start meeting in person and start a group. Does anyone want to join? 2 people responded, and that's all I needed. At the time, I was a graphic designer, and the other girl that joined the group was a personal trainer. And now fast forward years later, we're doing the things we want to do. So you don't have to meet people that are professional. All you need to do is meet people that are equally passionate as you are and will take writing seriously. Being in a writer's group literally leveled up my writing exponentially. Just having that accountability, having that feedback helped me more than anything, and it's free. The 5th thing I did was consume media that was about screenwriting. So that was the YouTube channels. Some of my favorite YouTube channels are Studio Binder and Lessons from the Screenplay. I love podcasts on writing, Script Notes podcast. I always recommend to people. On Story from the Austin Film Festival. The Writers Guild has a great podcast, Third and Fairfax. I have a podcast, In the Cut podcast, that you can check out. But really, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube channels gave me a greater understanding of story structure and also what it was really like to be a professional writer. I actually compiled a list of all the resources I recommend, from YouTube channels to books to podcasts to fellowships you can apply for. You can check out my website, inthecutla.org/resources, to see the full list. The last thing I did to help myself learn to be a professional writer was to watch the content that I love and break it down. I still do this. Actually, if I'm writing a new script and I'm struggling with finding the pacing, I'll look up comps, that's what we call them, short for comparisons, and I'll look up other movies or TV shows that are a similar vein of what I'm going for and see how they did it. You're going to watch a show you like and really do a scene by scene analysis. For me, I have my laptop up and I'm literally taking notes of every important story beat that happens in what I'm watching. And then I'll go back and look at it, and I basically created an outline of a successful movie, so then I can apply sort of the same loose guidelines and structure to my movie. Now, you're doing this to understand pacing. Pacing just means the time it takes to get from one story point to another. So watch the movies that you enjoy. Think about how many minutes do they spend setting up a character? How many minutes does it take for a character to set up their goal, to watch them on their journey? When you do these analysis, breakdown, scene by scene, you start to realize successful movies probably follow a similar trajectory and pattern of what makes them memorable. Doing that breakdown exercise is actually what inspired me to start my podcast, In the Cut podcast, episodes on this channel. If you want to take a look, it's where I invite professional writers on to break down their favorite episodes of TV. We've talked about everything from Breaking Bad to Atlanta to newer shows like The Bear. And that's it. Those are the 6 things I did that helped me become a writer. Notice there weren't really any books on that list because I didn't read any screenwriting books until after I was a professional writer. I read a couple, but in the learning process, I didn't do that. So that's exactly what I did. As promised, I'm going to give you the way you can get a free copy of Writer Duet is to visit my website and sign up for my newsletter. The link is right here on screen. You can do that, and I will be giving a copy away in December. It's a holiday gift to new people that sign up for my newsletter. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please do me a favor, like it, subscribe, leave a comment. So give me some feedback and I can keep making more videos. If you have any specific questions about story or what it's like to be a TV writer, please let me know in the comments so I know what type of videos to make in the future. See you next time.